Hello and welcome. Do you love football? Well, as for me, I do a great deal, except that I don't have any favorite club side. I enjoy watching the football game, and admire the skills of players and many things about football match. But more importantly, I've learned various life lessons from watching the football match. In this video, I will share 12 lessons that I've learned from watching a football match. So if you're ready, come on, let's go on. The first lesson is this. Lesson number one. A football match is time bound. You have 90 minutes of play. There is the first whistle by the referee that starts the match, and there's the final whistle that ends. Occasionally you have injury time and you extend the time a bit. So it is with our lives. The day you were born, that's the first whistle. That represents the first whistle to start the game. And the day you pass on is the final whistle to end the game. So what does that mean? What does that teach us? That our life is time bound. Unfortunately for us, in a football match, you know the time that it will end, 90 minutes. Sometimes you see the coaches looking at their time. Hey, referee, please blow the whistle. But in real life, nobody knows when his or her own end will come. So what does that teach us? We have no time in this world, and time at the same time is all that we have. So you need to, be serious with your life because you just have a limited time. So how will you be at the end of your time? Will you have fulfilled all, what you set out to achieve, what you set out to fulfill? So blessed are those who are able to finish their match or their race before the final whistle. Lesson number two. Every player comes to the field with a strong sense of purpose. Strong sense of purpose. They have come to play football. We have come here to play, to win. So they didn't come to be running around. They didn't come to be gisting with their friends. They have come here for the purpose of playing football. To play, to score, to win. So there's a clear sense of purpose. The same thing with our life. If our life is not driven by purpose, then it's a wasteful exercise. Because the purpose of life is to live a life of purpose. So we must be purpose driven as players in the football pitch of life. Lesson number three is this. A football game is guided by rules and regulations. And when you break any of them, you get punished. So you see the referee brings out a yellow, first of all, it books you. It's a bookable offense. Sometimes it brings a yellow card, sometimes a red card. 2 yellow cards equals to a red card. So when you go to the field, you don't go and you have to control yourself, your behavior, your character, because the game is guided by rules and you could be punished, even banned for life from playing. The same thing with our lives. We cannot live recklessly. There are rules, there are laws. In every country, there are laws. Then, as human beings created by God, there are laws, there are rules that we must comply with. If not, we get punished. If you break the law, spiritual or the law of a country, you get punished. And so, that is very important that we know how to live and follow the rules. Obey the laws wherever we are. The lesson number three is this, and it says, it is not over until it is over. This one is super interesting to me. The recent match I watched, it was 7-0. That was the scoreline, 7-0. But yet the losing team kept on playing. They kept on playing. They didn't say, oh, I think the goals are too much now. Let us just say you have won and go. So it is not over yet until it is over. And then, very interestingly, I have seen some last-minute goals. 89th minute, 90th minute. Somebody just scores a goal, plays a hat-trick and scores a goal, and that becomes a game changer. I've also seen football matches where one side is 3 goals down. And before you know what happened in the second half, they end up winning the match. So it is not over yet until it is over, until it is the final whistle. So the same thing with you, with me, our lives. So don't give up. It is not over. Even if you are failing now, fine, you could still win. Even if you're not doing too well now, don't give up. Keep on. Because it is not yet over. It is not over until it is over. Until your final whistle, it is not over for you. I used to tell people, some of my students, and that in the university of life, there's no graduates. The day you graduate is the day you pass on. So have hope, have courage. It is not yet over. And then lesson number 5 is the players on the pitch are surrounded by a crowd of witnesses, spectators. Apart from the COVID period where stadium, were empty, many stadiums were empty. These days, the spectators are massive. You see people watching. So you are playing the eyes of the whole world. Now even if you are not in Europe, you can watch European League matches from wherever you are. So you are surrounded by, a crowd of witnesses, spectators. So that regulates your behavior. You can't just, get angry and go and give somebody a headbutt. You know what that means, So it's the same thing with our lives. We are surrounded by witnesses. The society looks at us. We are responsible to the society. We don't just do things anyhow. You cannot pick your car and be driving on any part of the road because you feel that way. So our behavior is being regulated by the people around us. Then there's also the heavenly hosts. The heavenly hosts, they also watch us. So we live our lives with caution. We live our lives with a sense of responsibility. That's what it means. Because we are before people, a crowd of witnesses, both physical and spiritual. Okay, so the lesson number 6 is this. Lesson number 6 is this. The one that has the ball usually has the greatest troubles because everyone is on you so that you don't make a move, so that you don't go forward, So the same thing, when you are gifted, you are talented, you are loaded, you have a great destiny, you have so many enemies, you have so many people coming to attack you, when you have such a great destiny, So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. So I like the way those guys dribble their ways through these attacks, people who are coming to attack them and still escape. So if you are so blessed, you're so talented, be sure that you have plenty problems in life. Just like a beautiful woman. A beautiful woman has so many problems because all eyes are on you, as one musician sang in those days. Okay, so the point number 7, lesson number 7 is this. Football is a game of strength and resilience. You see how those guys just fall, they'll fall and they'll roll like a tire and they get up again, and I say, wow, it's a game of strength. Then resilience. You have to be strong, you have to, persevere. So also it's in the game of life. That this life is not for weak people. You got to be strong. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, intellectually, you have to be strong. And you have to be resilient. If not, you won't be able to play the game of life. So footballers are, strong people. It's a game of strength. Just like our life too, it's a game of strength. If not, you cannot put through. So they fall, they rise, they fall, they rise. They keep on, till the end. And then lesson number 8, yes. In a football match, you play to win. You play to win. So if you're just kicking the ball on the pitch, and it doesn't add up to anything. So the football match is interesting when goals are being scored. That's what people want to see. It's not that you played and played and played and played. So you play to win. The same thing in life. You don't just be spending your energy left, right, and center. Show me your achievements. What have you achieved with all you've been doing? Where are the milestones? Where are the achievements? So very important that you don't just play to the gallery. So you must play, to win. Play to score goals. At the end of the day, say, oh, this man ended 5-4, 3-2. At the end of your days too, they say, oh, this man did X, Y, Z. These are the achievements. Just like the Bible says, if you have faith, show me your works. Not just faith without works. They say it's dead. So if you have faith, where's the work? If you are playing, show me the goals you have scored. Show me the goals. That's lesson number 8. Then lesson number 9, this is very interesting to me. Sometimes you chase the ball. You run after the ball. You see players running after the ball. And some other time you see players standing somewhere and the ball comes to meet them. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So when I came to think about it, I reflected on it and I said, wow. So sometimes you chase things in life. You pursue things. Sometimes you just stay where you are and things come to meet you. So some of those players too, they have the wisdom to know when to chase and when not to. For example, the ball is going out of play. You're running, or say, no, I think the ball is going, let it go. So that's it too. There's sometimes you just stay where you are and the ball comes to meet you. So sometimes things just come to meet you where you are. So don't run around everywhere chasing success. Have the wisdom sometimes to stay where you are and wait for the good things to come. Sometimes you pursue, sometimes, you wait for the things to come, And that's lesson number 9. So lesson number 10, players manage their energies very well so that they can last the entire time or time frame of the match. Think of those people that they substitute during football matches. These are guys who have run out of strength and maybe run out of ideas. But the good players, they manage their strength, so that they can last the 90 minutes or more. So those that they don't change, those are the guys who have the strength to stay to the end of the match. The same thing. In life, if you spread your energies thin across so many things, you just burn yourself out. You have been hearing the word burnout. That's what it means. You burn yourself out. So the players, they know how to conserve their energies, Sometimes when the ball is getting too hot, they slow it down. Because you need to have energy to finish the whole game. And so that's very important to manage your energies. Manage your resources well so that you can last you a lifetime. And then lesson number 11. So players follow an agreed game plan with their coach. The players don't just come to the pitch to come and they follow a game plan. So you hear 4-4-2, 5-4-1. Those are game plans, So the same thing with our life. If you are an adult, you are living, you must have your plan, your game plan. You must have strategies. You don't just live anyhow, and expect to get success. You don't live anyhow and expect that good things will come and at the end of the day you arrive there. No. You have to have a plan. Plan for everything. A game plan. So, of course, plans could change. You don't have to have a rigid plan. Sometimes to the coaches, I'm sure they make some adjustment. But then, basically, you should have a game plan for your life. Very important. Very, very important. Don't just live arbitrarily. And don't copy another person's game plan. And if somebody got married at 32, or at 32 or 24, it doesn't mean you should at that time. You have your own game plan. If somebody is relocating abroad, it doesn't mean you should, because you have your own game plan. She or he has his own game plan. And then this is the 12th one. That a football match is about somebody moving forward, somebody opposing the person. So each time you have the ball, you have an opposer. What is the role of the opposer? To make sure that you don't go ahead with the ball. You don't go to do anything with the ball, anything good. So the same thing with our life, As human beings, people who are both spiritual and physical, you see, each time you want to do anything, there's always an opposition. Opposition. But how far you go in life depends on how far you're able to push your opposer. So you see those guys on the pitch, they have strategies. Sometimes they just trick you like this and you run this way and they go. Sometimes they outrun you. So there are strategies. So there's always an opposer trying to make sure that you don't go forward. I used to like the The scramble at the goalpost when they are taking a corner kick. The ball has not even landed. Somebody is already opposing the other person and pushing. The ball has not come because I must oppose you. You look like you are the guy who's going to score this ball. So right now, I must attack you even before the ball comes. Very interesting, very interesting. So, viewers, these are the 12 lessons I've learned from watching a football match. If you have also had your own lesson, please leave your comments, in the comment section. I'd also like to hear from you. I don't have the prerogative of knowledge. These are some ideas I've picked up. So please have your own. Let's have a community of thinkers, and then encourage one another in the journey of life, which is not easy. Journey of life not easy. Let's encourage one another. I'm yours sincerely, Austin Emielu. Thank you.